Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Unfortunately, there are some pretty concerning things going on in Call of Duty right now that for some reason, Call of Duty almost is intentionally, at least from our POV, intentionally trying to avoid talking about. They have done the bare minimum in terms of recognizing the community feedback in regards to some of these topics. And so today, I really wanted to try and shed some light on how problematic these certain things are for a lot of Call of Duty players. So as we are going through and we're talking about these issues, if you guys want to share the video around to more people, get more eyes on the subject, the best way to do so is simply by leaving a like and dropping a comment down below, because this really is some stuff that I think needs more attention on it, because it's pretty drastic how much it's impacting players across the board, especially this first issue. For instance, we are here on the Trello board here. Obviously, this is where the devs go through and they detail everything that they are tracking as far as updates and glitches and bugs and all sorts of other broken things in game. It's not every single thing they're looking into, but it's the ones they decide to communicate. And they've been updating this throughout all of Black Ops 7 and Warzone so far. And we got a handful of updates still inbound and fixes confirmed for multiplayer, quite a few things for zombies as well, a few things in-game going on. What's not mentioned on this board in specific, though, is an issue that's been impacting players basically since the start of both Black Ops 7 and Warzone, and that's the ability to just simply communicate in-game. Voice chat and comms in-game are incredibly broken, and so far the global Trello here has basically failed to mention it. Now if we jump over to the Warzone Trello here, you can see that in the general issues, the top listed item currently is this bug where voice chat is somewhat broken, and this was actually added to the Trello back in mid-December on December 11th, and the issue was ongoing before that. That's just when they officially recognized it was on here. They didn't post anything about this really on the COD updates saying, hey, we're looking into this. They didn't really do anything other than simply add this to the Trello board, quietly and subtly in the background. And because I sit here and constantly look at these Trello boards, I caught when this one was added. But they say that they're investigating an issue causing the message voice and text chat disabled due to platform restrictions to appear incorrectly. This is just part of the general issue here, though, where voice comms in-game, being able to talk in-game using your mic, is not working. And obviously, Call of Duty is a social game. People need to use the in-game chat to communicate with their teammates, to talk with randoms, to talk with their party. It's an integral part of gameplay. It's a core part of the social aspect of COD. And when it's just not working straight up, it takes away a huge part of that. Not everyone is able to use TeamSpeak or Discord to communicate with their friends if they're in a party. They do rely on the in-game chat. And this has been a massive issue since the start, with basically zero recognition outside of this specific Trello card, which is just for the platform restrictions bug that shows up. And this is like, at times, if you get this bug, it says it wants you to purchase PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live to be able to use chat, which is not what needs to happen for it. That's just outright a bug, and it's almost like a scam at this point too, right? And they've just been looking into this for a month at this point, basically, right? And obviously they had the holiday break and everything, but this has been a major problem since the start. And then in general, beyond just the platform restriction issue that's been going on here, voice chat just outright not working at random in some games. Not to mention the fact that you can get comm banned for basically nothing in this game. If someone just outright reports you, it like defaults to a comm ban. Even if you never said anything on your mic at all, they hit you with that right away, which is pretty absurd. And that's been broken for years. That's a whole nother tangent that we could get into here, right? But basically, Call of Duty at its core, the main thing being that it's a social experience, having one of the core integral features of the social experience being broken with no mention and no urgency to get this resolved is a severe problem. It's a major issue, and I've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments asking, Zach, why doesn't my mic work in game? Why can't I hear my friends' mics in game? It doesn't say anything's wrong, but no one can hear each other. Are we comm banned? What's going on? It says I need to buy PlayStation Plus to, chat with my friends. This can't be right, can it? And no, it's not right, but there seems to be very little urgency to resolve this, despite the fact that it's a main problem going on in game right now, and it's such a big element of what COD gameplay is. I want to hear the death chat. There should be trash talk in COD, all these things, and this is breaking it. This is limiting it, and it needs more attention, and it needs to get resolved here sooner rather than later. Hence why I'm making this video, because I want to bring more attention to an issue like this. But that's not all, because there's another core part of gameplay that's been MIA since the Warzone integration, and Call of Duty has completely avoided talking about this. Raven posted their highlights for the Season 1 Reloaded update, and I was hopeful that maybe something was going to change with this patch in and of itself. They said, hey, we got the new Power Armor Royale LTM, kind of like Juggernaut Royale. There's the new High Octane LTM coming in season. That seems pretty cool. There's the win streaks, weapon balance updates. You know what's missing though? Plunder. Where's Plunder at? Because it was a core thing of Warzone. Remember when Warzone launched and it was Battle Royale and Plunder? Then Plunder's kind of just been there the entire time, and it's this core thing that there has been a major audience for in Warzone since the start, and every single time Plunder's ever been removed because there was a new LTM or they introduced Clash or they did Lockdown or this other casual like sandbox like experience, everyone was like, okay, this is fun, but where's Plunder? Hey, when's Plunder coming back? And then it always came back. Well, when this Warzone integration happened, they went heavy in on, hey, there's casual Battle Royale, there's casual Resurgence, there's these other LTMs. Plunder is MIA, and it's a core thing for Warzone. For free-to-play players who don't necessarily want to even play a casual game, they still want to play real players, but they want to work in the sandbox mode. They want to test out weapon builds there without the risk of playing Battle Royale and losing their life before they even get their loadouts, or Resurgence where they could lose their loot right away if they end up dying and then someone's still sitting on your loot. You can't get back to that and regain. Plunder is that perfect space to go through and test, to play more casually, to play in that sandbox in that less stressful environment. And while casuals does serve a purpose to a certain extent there, where it is obviously much less stressful, Plunder is its own thing. And it was such a core, integral part of what Warzone has been for the past few years. And now it is, again, MIA. They have not said anything about it. They did give us their little playlist rundown here for Season 1 Reloaded as well. We're not sure how often the playlist will be changing entirely. We know we've got some upcoming weekend LTMs. We've obviously got that High Octane LTM coming up. Week 3, we're going to have the Make It Rain Resurgence LTM. We're going to have a community voted LTM coming up in week 4 as well, where it's going to be like, hey, did you like Buyback? Did you like this one more? What are we going to run for the final week? So we'll have that to vote for in the future. But as far as their general playlist rundown goes, they mentioned standard Battle Royale. Obviously, that's a core integral part of Warzone, so that's going to stay there. Resurgence is now too. We're all in on the casual stuff, and we've got our Power Armor Royale. Zero mention of Plunder here. Zero mention of Plunder here. I have seen, again, hundreds of comments over the course of the past month plus asking, hey, what's going on with Plunder? Zach, are they bringing back Plunder? What have they said about this? Quite literally nothing. I've tweeted at Raven a couple of times. I've mentioned in videos previously, hey, I wonder what's going on there. I'll keep you guys updated if we see anything. And there's been nothing. So you have this huge audience by comparison. Like, there's still a giant amount of players who want to play Plunder on this game almost exclusively that now just don't have that general mode that they want to go through and play, which just seems like a massive miss for Warzone. And there's zero reasoning behind why they've made this decision and removed it from the game outright. You know, maybe it's because they're worried that because they have casual for Battle Royale and Resurgence, that maybe it splits the player base too much away from Plunder, and it's already splitting between BR and Resurgence as is. And so there's some worry about not filling lobbies. But I mean, casual is the majority of the audience on Warzone to begin with. Having all the casual modes there and Plunder really favoring that playstyle doesn't make much sense in that regard. It just seems really weird that, again, they're now taking away something that is so core to gameplay and has been so core to gameplay and not saying anything. Zero communication on that front whatsoever. So little concerning that there are quite a few things going on in gameplay right now that really have major impacts on a ton of players that the devs just really aren't communicating on. So like I said at the start, if you want to help get more attention on these matters, do me a favor, drop a like on the video, helps share it around a lot and get more eyes on it. And if you guys are new to the channel, you have not subscribed yet, you want to ensure you're always in the know for everything going on in COD, so that when they do push out updates to fix voice comms being totally broken, or they give us responses as to what's going on at the modes, you're fully up to date with everything going on. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. This is the place to be for that on a consistent basis. But that's gonna wrap things up for this. Pretty disappointing that so much is missing right now with very little response from the devs. Once again though, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.